honestly. Did you not read the colony policy that defined you as company property? That wavers your say in autonomy. The conglomerates got you in lock and key. We are a family forged in bureaucracy. No I in teen, but there's con in economy. Were you expecting adventure? Were you hoping for fun? My friend, you're indentured and pleasure's exempt from your tenure, so venture back down to your slum. You should have read the fine print, my friend. Should have read the fine print. You should have read the fine print, my friend. Should have read the fine print.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to Monopod Studios. I am your resident GM for the evening, Kyron Russmore, and as usual, I am joined with by the rest of the crew. Let's start the ball rolling with Flimsy.
Hello, I'm J-Station64 playing Flimsy the Dwarf Mechanic, he, him pronouns, and he's looking forward to schmoozing at some fancy shindigs.
Hi, I'm Krifu Bernal. I am playing, my pronouns are he, him, and I'm playing Yeva, whose pronouns are she, her. And I think she and Flimsy are on the exact same wavelength, ready to act like the proper shareholders that they've always known they should be. Am I wrong? No. Yeah.
Trix?
Hey, I am Trix. Pronouns are she, they. Operative and space pirate extraordinaire. Trix is getting ready to put her head down and be a little bit bored for a while.
I thought this stuff would... Sorry.
I'm Retro Ted. I played Jahir. Pronouns he, him. I'm a Kasatha soldier. And I'm currently debating, well, Jahir is currently debating whether schmoozing is a martial arts form that he's never heard of.
I was just going to say, Trix, I thought this kind of thing of scheming and underhandedness was right up your alley.
The prep work towards the heist is a necessary evil that Trix appreciates, but does not necessarily enjoy.
Fair enough. And so, as we have started doing, we're going to get a bit of a load up this week. I do believe it is on the space station Epsilon, and it is presented this time by our very own Trix. Take it away.
Yes, so Epsilon Station, pretty boring session, I'm afraid. It is known to share its name with a prominent city on the lost city of Galarian, named such due to its current place orbiting what was once the planet. This fact paired with the high number of native races, so elves, dwarves, other Pathfinder races I am not privy to, found on the station in the early days, led many historians to believe that Epsilon Station was built by mortal hands, though there's not enough evidence to support that theory. And to add a bit more to the mystery, Epsilon Station houses a powerful artifact at its core called the Starstone. This artifact provides a near limitless power supply to the station, and more curious still is it acts like a beacon across the entire galaxy, as you've probably seen in past streams, allowing to travel back to the station to take nothing more than like 6 days at most, so long as you're taking the drift, and that's regardless of how far you are into the vast packed worlds near space, probably beyond. Thanks to Epsilon, this Epsilon Station became a sort of cooking pot for all the races, both spacey and more traditional races found in Pathfinder. And they all carved out like a little bit of neighborhood for themselves. Companies took up residence within a very affluent area called the Spire. A load of religious, more popular religion in Starfinder, so Abadar, Hylax, Saren Ray, there we go, there's another one. They all have temples within the congregation. There's some lesser known ones there, but they're kind of, the list is massive, and there are some that are omitted, like the old dwarven god, which I can't remember. Sorry, Flimsy. So even though we know that the Starstone is actually there, it's never actually been found. It's posited that it resides deep down within an area known as the Spike, which is the pointy bit in Epsilon Station down at the bottom. So what happens is you've got the early levels of the Spike, which is home to really poor residents, people who can't afford the nicer accommodations up top. You got maintenance crews and whatnot who maintain, the life support systems that are down there. And then lower still, you have what are known as the ghost levels, which are vastly unexplored, unmapped, home to criminals, zealots for dangerous gods, and lost entities. And more interestingly, is it's home to a lot of creatures that have no right to be on the station. No one knows how they got there. No one knows how they've made entire floors into strange ecosystems in what's known as the gloom. And every time that politicians have tried to clear the area, map it, both scientists and religious icons both have approached them and gone, no, it's all part of some destiny. This is what it was supposed to be like, so don't mess with it. And so no one ever has. And finally, on the government, Epsilon Station was originally lawless. There was no order, anarchy reigned. Trix would have loved it. But eventually there was an atmospheric malfunction that nearly cost Epsilon Station its existence. And in the wake of that disaster, all the different gangs and merchant guilds and vagabonds banded together to form the Syndics Guild, led by the various gang leaders at the time. Together they voted on a prime executive, or a prime X, to act as Epsilon's leader, and this tradition still holds true even today. So you could become the new prime X with enough money.
Or enough firepower.
But good luck on that one.
Yeah. From the inside is probably a lot easier. From the outside, there are massive plates that can shift into position, and capital ships class of weapons are just all around Epsilon Station. It's never been successfully boarded by hostiles. But yes, thank you very much, Trix.
You said it was an infinite supply of power. Does that mean all power is free on Epsilon Station?
Yeah. I mean, unless someone decides to charge for it. But, it wouldn't surprise me if someone does somewhere. But yeah, it's free. Like the oxygen supply, the power supply, everything is just the Starstone powers it all.
A far cry from where we've been so far.
It also controls the gravity.
Is that our next heist?
We'll take the Starstone.
we gotta find it.
The thing is, in terms of Pathfinder, to reach the Starstone is one of the divine trials. Everybody who has touched the Starstone has ascended to divinity.
Iomedae was one of those gods, I believe.
Iomedae,
Caden Kalian?
Caden Kalian, and there's another one.
Norgorber.
Yeah, that's it. Norgorber.
Norgorber.
Because it used to reside in
City of
Epsilon. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just got, I guess it just got carted up. I don't know.
It depends on how the city or how the world of Galarian disappeared. We were talking about this. This is going on a bit long, but we were talking about this just before we actually went live, and it's one of them where it's like it just kind of disappeared. So there's a potential that the Starstone didn't get lifted up; it just remained to exist while the rest of the world moved around it, and then they built a space station. But that information is just absolutely lost to the time during the gap. So we may never canonically know for sure. But yes, if you did actually heist the Starstone, you could become gods.
That's it. People who touched it become gods. What about 4 people bunging it into the back of a giant null space chamber?
And selling
reverse the ship into it, open the back door, in we go.
The thing is, though,
would like to be a god.
Everybody would be able to find you.
Yeah, they'd all be coming to us instead of the station.
The worst heist in the world.
This is an Epsilon.
Yes. Last session was pretty much mainly prep work. First of all, the crew of the BD quit their jobs and are no longer the crew of the BD.
We made more money quitting than we ever did working.
Well, some of us did.
The thing is, that's more designed to be your retirement fund. Let's see how long that lasts in retirement.
I spent most of it already.
They then found a ship, seeing as though they no longer had one of their own, and traveled from Epsilon Station over to the Horse Eye Orbital Plate, which is still no easier to say, which is in orbit around Abalon, a largely mechanical life form world. Although the orbital plate shares its resonances with dwarves and humans, Yosoki, doing most of the design work, as well as being sort of like liaisons with the other species of the Pact Worlds and beyond in sort of like discussing deals. They arrived within a day, thanks to Trixie's driving, or flying, piloting. And they settled into their accommodation where they began to scheme. So far, all they have found out is that Edge Core has 5 areas of this station that are marked off as sort of like invitational only access, and well, that's kind of where we left off. What would you like to do?
Well, we
Where
have
are
a
we?
tour
Are we
to
in
book.
Are we in the room?
Mm-hmm.
You're in
Yeah,
the
they were
room,
still-
and for the
yeah.
most part, I'm assuming, I'm not going to be solid. You discuss this in the main room where cameras are watching. Don't worry about it. I will assume that everything is confidential unless you do something drastic, like on the dining table, decide to build a ship-boring weapon so that you can just drill through walls. Now, that will be... Discussion is fine.
Right. Who's sitting on the computer? Flimsy was there last, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm like scrunched down, hovering over Flimsy's shoulder, trying to stare at the screen as well. And I'm like, no, okay, time to book the tour. We must take tour now, yes.
We going to take a tour each and split up, or all go on the same tours?
You do a quick search and you find that there's a public tour of the facility, which gives you a grand overview. It also starts and ends at a bit of a trade show of sorts where they highlight various technologies, and also vendors will sort of like bid for attention and selling you their latest and greatest. Then there's specialized tours for different companies. You're mainly only interested in EdgeCore, and that will take you around the facilities. You're not sure whether that will take you close to the secure ones or not, but the public tour is definitely not going to be around every single point of interest. And finally, in the evening, there is a bit of a social mixer of sorts, a soirée, if that's the right word for it. I don't know, it sounds fancy.
Soirée sounds good.
Yeah, a soirée where, it's like you all dine as one, and, there's tends to be a lot of indication that many people will be there in a more casual environment rather than the formal stuffy suitness that can go on.
I think we'd be sorry to miss the soiree.
Hey-oh.
Hey.
That's where the real deals are broken. That's where we want to be.
All right,
Oh,
I
wait,
think
what?
I may need to buy a new outfit.
I don't know. Well, maybe actually. I'm looking down at he's got professional quartermaster's overall. And it's not really a soiree gear, is it?
Mm-mm. Like, I bought that professional, I'm wearing like that blazer, but it's very businessy.
I wonder if they have like a dress shop here.
A gift shop. I went to the horse eye over the place.
And just somehow I don't think you want to be going to a soiree on that in that t-shirt.
I would say public tour first, and since we all arrived together, it might look sus if we weren't all taking tour together.
Makes sense. Are they scheduled in a way that we can do one after the other, or is there any conflict?
You definitely have the potential of scheduling the Edge tour pretty much whenever you desire. It's just going to be very obvious, and how many people actually attend other than yourselves is a very much question mark.
Maybe we wait till tomorrow. There's no major time limit, right?
There
Well,
isn't no.
Not in a rush. We want to make sure we plan this to a T before it all goes wrong.
Plus,
I still think a public tour today would be good because it gives us a tour of the station, like where all the amenities are. It wouldn't be out of place for us to arrive and take a public tour on the same day, so we know where everything is.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be useful if we weren't heisting a ship in here.
Right.
Don't get the jitters now, Flimsy. That's what we live for.
Get excited, I speak loudly. I don't know how thick these doors are. Open Flimsy, book for tickets for the tour.
Yeah,
They'd be complimentary.
How much is that going to set us back?
it is complimentary.
Hey.
Nice.
The meals, are basic meals at least, and the tours are all complimentary. It's only, if you want to buy any kind of provisions, clothing, or anything that isn't, top shelf alcoholic is not included in the room. There might be some at the soiree, but if you wanted to buy some for the room, that would also cost you.
Gotta live it up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't touch the mini fridge.
Oh god, yeah.
But I'm not in a hurry to leave this place. It's first time in a long time that they've had bed my size.
You've been treated the way that you should be treated.
It truly is nice being shareholder, I must say.
Even if it's for the reasons that we got into it, we should enjoy the amenities while we've got them.
Mm-hmm.
Are we all going to this shindig later on this evening? If you want, I could see if I can sort us out some fancy attire. Whatever seems most appropriate.
It's what I'm wearing, not fancy enough. It's been clean.
Jahir, we're gonna get you out from under that rock, buddy. Come on.
You're still wearing your armor, aren't you, Jahir?
Yeah. And the cloak above it.
Oh, so you're not allowed to take your swords with you to soirees.
Hey?
You can't, because you don't take giant bone swords, as cool as they are, to formal functions.
But you said that soirees were the main meeting and the decision points and where all the major things happened. Why would you not take a massive sword to that?
Looking at the size of the sword and the height of Eva, is there any way this could pass as like a fancy walking stick for Eva? A bone cane?
If we had like a sword cane, I think those are like meant to, pass.
Yeah.
But I don't think
Yeah,
I don't think we
feel
can
that.
afford a sword game.
I also don't think either's sword is going to sort of like double down as a walking cane.
What if? I mean, I'm sure that there will be people with bodyguards. No, so we could. Jahir could pass as our bodyguard.
We could try and have him pass as our bodyguard, sure.
He basically is our bodyguard. He doesn't have to pass for anything.
That's true. Are there rules
Well,
in
I
the invitation about weapons?
Yeah, you're allowed to carry small arms. Rifles are frowned upon. Anything heavier is they request that you leave them in your rooms. Although there are certain modifications that you can get for such weapons that allow you to carry just about anything freely.
A glamour.
No, actually, Abadar Corps sell a protectorate line of weapons, and that can be incorporated into most weapons. They have a database link to them of individuals, and if you point it at an individual and they're on the list, you cannot pull the trigger.
Interesting.
You could also get a calling fusion. Basically, hand the sword in at the desk, and then should anything go down in the room, you just
Anything between me and it.
Or it to you. Yeah.
call it.
Well, I'll leave the sword. I've still got my battle gloves. Do you think I need the frag grenades? I should maybe take 5 instead of 6, you know.
You do you. You do you.
Okay, he takes all 6 frag grenades.
I'll paint them a nice neutral color and make them all spangly, and they'll look like cool fashion accessories. You'll be like a new trend.
Glitter grenades.
Glitter bombs.
I like it. Okay, well, I'll leave the sword and the fusion rifle, I suppose. But Tacklash, do we compromise on Tacklash?
The Tacklash is fairly easily disguisable. You know, you could it could double down as a belt.
Plus, it's non-lethal.
Plus, it's non-lethal, which is one of them where it's like they're not going to question non-lethal.
So if I just say the frag grenades are non-lethal as well, then let me take it.
In theory, you can actually get a weapon fusion called the Mercy, which turns any weapon into a non-lethal weapon. And yes, you can apply that to grenades. Highly explosive grenades.
Highly expensive.
Can you put fusions on grenades?
You can, yeah.
Huh.
You never would, but you can.
Seems like such a waste, totally. Yeah.
It would be such a waste. Grenades are one of the things. It's not quite balanced in many people's opinion. They're very expensive for what they are, and then you put a weapon fusion on them, which makes them even more expensive.
Though here's an idea: you put that fusion on that makes a magical grenade. And, you know, for the grenade launcher.
I think that has a restriction in that it can only be applied to long arms and heavy weapons.
Yeah, but what my idea is, you put that onto whatever you're putting the mystical grenade into, but then the grenade you're using, you put a high level grenade in there with some sort of weird fusion on there, and then you have an infinite one day use. Magically infused grenade.
Grenade, yeah.
That tends to be the most cost-effective way of handling grenades, is get that fusion and then...
Also the most costly.
Yes.
You mean calling on a frag grenade isn't the best thing?
No! The Tricks would try it. Tricks would try it.
So yes, the public tour is likely to be in the next half hour. The soiree is later this evening.
Well, have we got anything else we're looking out for in particular? We've got these 5 sites. Maybe we can keep an eye out for them whilst we're walking around.
Shopping for clothes.
I would also point out, Jahir did actually have a good idea towards the end of the last session where it's like, Tricks, Flimsy, you have the feeling that you can actually do a deeper dive into the local infosphere, which may trigger some alarms.
But we can use a public terminal.
If you can find a public or another terminal, if it does trigger an alarm, it's going to trigger an alarm of where you're not at, unless you decide to stick around after the alarms start going off. It's up to you.
At the moment, most of the things, hopefully, the tours that we're doing are passive. So once we've eliminated all of the passive research we can do, we can look into doing some more active, potentially alarm raising and then running away research.
That's a good way of defining it, clarifying it, passive versus active.
Things that aren't going to put a target on our heads.
So yes, half an hour rolls around and or 15 minutes rolls around and you enter sort of like the meeting point, and you can see this wide open area where there are sort of like banners and stalls for a variety of different companies. You can see 3 major banners for Compiler Enterprises, Manifold Industries, and Ringwork Industries. They seem to be showcasing their latest and greatest designs for ships. You don't really want to get into the trade show just yet, because at this point, you see a few other people coming to greet you, and not coming to greet you, but also standing in the general area for the tour.
Guy with an umbrella, to take the tour around.
Yep. Before the tour begins, can you all make me diplomacy checks?
Okay.
Sorry. Diplomacy.
Diplomacy checks. This is just a general feel for how well you're going to be received by other people, and just that kind of thing. It's a preemptive rolling. How's everybody do?
21 for
19.
me.
17 from Flimsy.
20 for me.
So all high, 17 and above.
We're ready. Everyone made sure to take a shower before we left.
Game faces
building
on
the BD.
brushed my hair.
And nobody's carrying any obvious armaments, are they? I mean, Flimsy, you're wearing your overalls over the top of your armor. And what's the biggest weapon that you're carrying?
It was the Infinity Rifle, but I've left that in the room, so it'll be his skip shot pistol.
Yep. Fairly easily holsterable, not too much of a concern. Yever, what's the largest weapon that you're wearing?
I left the grenades.
Tucked under the mattress.
Yes.
For the room clearing, people come in.
I think and I left my tactical pistol, so I think I'm holding my laser pistol, and I have my baton as well.
Yeah, your baton's probably more obvious, but again, it's non-lethal melee weapon, so doesn't raise any eyebrows. We've already established Jahir, which again is the Tacklash and the gauntlets. Did you bring any grenades? Be honest.
Yeah, 5. I left them at home for good luck.
Well, technically the baton's lethal. Maybe I should have left it then.
My pistol's lethal, to be fair.
Yeah, so is my laser pistol. That's fine. I have the baton. Yeah, it's not like a sword or something.
The baton always just strikes me as a more non-lethal approach to things,
Anything operative, I feel like, would be it's not super obvious.
Yeah, that's another point. It's very easy to conceal away. And tricks. Sorry, Jahir, you're wearing your armor, I assume.
Yes.
And Yeva?
No, she's not wearing her armor.
What are you wearing?
Her professional outfit that she bought on Epsilon. Just a blazer with that short pencil skirt. Very, very business not casual, business formal, I guess.
And Trix, weapons and attire.
Trix has 2 pistols. She probably left the laser pistol in the room. Has the pulse caster, which is non-lethal. And she has a little survival knife tucked away in a pocket.
I hate that you're asking
your
us
clothing.
this.
Yeah, like, don't you just hate that bit on a tour when you've got to check what weapons you're wearing?
Armor you're wearing.
Another standard tour.
I have some EJ coveralls, but I would like to think that Trix would have taken them off and is just wearing a swanky jacket.
Does the coveralls count as armor?
They do count as armor. They are edge core specific armor.
Yeah. So you've possibly got your jacket over the top of that, because I believe that they're coveralls, basically.
They are.
Unless you say that you're definitively taking the armor off, in which case it doesn't count.
Yeah, no, she's not going to wear it. She wants to show some skin.
So, as you're going about these tours, this tour, sorry, you see a number of manufacturing facilities and points of interest. They're all being called out to you. It's they manufacture everything here, from small fighter craft to some of the bigger craft. They don't generally tend to go into the super dreadnought class, although they can commission one if necessary, although it probably won't actually be built here. But they offer a wide variety of technologies. And as you're touring around, as people chatting away around you, and one of the individuals, sort of like, having been put at ease by you people, also company, they also work for Edge, and they are passing by one of the facilities that Flimsy noted, and they don't tell you exactly what's going on behind closed doors, but they do give you the indication that it is more looking at trying to micro-size weapons, so that there's a potential that in a few years that the BDs might be have weapon affixments. But unfortunately, at the moment, the micro scaling hasn't quite got to the point, and it's cutting far more too much into the cargo hold, which would get too much in the way of profits.
And is that one of the 5 potential locations that Flimsy pointed out?
Yes.
Do we know which one that is on a number of 1 to 5?
1.
We call that 1-1. Can we see?
They've not really given me much to work with on that scale of things, so it's all like, you've eliminated 1. You've got 4 more to go at.
Is it locked by? Is it like a sensor or a key, or can we see? Is there any kind of security?
Make me a engineering check.
Okie dokie. See what Flimsy sees. 28.
Video cameras.
Okie dokie.
Key card.
Key card.
Probably alarmed. What was that number?
28.
Alarmed internally.
What does that mean, sir?
If the alarm was to go off, station security wouldn't attend.
Oh, private security.
Oh, so it's within whatever's beyond the door.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's pretty cool. Keycard's not great though.
Why would they not want station security to attend to the call?
Maybe they want to keep
Sensitive info.
whatever's inside.
Would that be a way we could help narrow down the options? If we, the station security, are going to attend to, say, 2 of them, well, then we can rule probably them out.
That's a good point.
I assume we're kind of texting this over comms, right? We're not saying this out loud.
What do you think, our guides?
I have a feeling that when it comes to any kind of heist, it actually happens in a series of flashbacks.
Montage.
Yeah.
You've been on the tour, you've seen everything that there is to see, and now this discussion that you're having is actually back when you're in your room, and you're basically talking about, while on the tour, did you notice they had security cameras, but that alarm, I'm pretty sure, is wired internally. So, it's out of open eyesight, because otherwise it just gets ridiculous where it's like, here's all the information, now don't talk about it until you've all forgotten about it. And that doesn't feel right. So it's more, you're on the tour, but you've had the tour, you're back in your room talking about what happened on the tour.
It's that narration, like the casino vault is hidden behind.
Camera zooming into the. Cut back to Flimsy with his eye patch and his missing tooth in the room. How do we get there? How does that happen?
Every
flashback with no context. Your hair's upside down. Don't know why.
Each time you flashback, you just look more and more haggard.
Anyway, on with the tour.
The tour continues, and you manage to get a general sense of the place. There is there's a fair amount of facilities here for shopping. There are people who live out of the orbital plate, workers and the like. They don't have the opportunity that every time that they finish their ship to just nip back to Epsilon station. So, toiletries, clothing, general goods are on sale aboard the plate, and you have a rough idea where you can go to buy those. Nothing extravagant. There's no weapon stores for anything other than level 1, level 2, non-lethal, and certainly nothing bigger than a rifle. And, same applies to armor. Nothing spectacular, but functional.
You say there's nothing extravagant, but what about formal wear?
Oh, no, formal wear is... I'm talking about weapons and armor.
So we could all get, very decadent, soiree outfits, right?
Yes, you could all buy soiree outfits.
Yeah.
A little tux for Flimsy.
Yeah.
The thing is, don't forget, this is also the future. So, neon wear is a passing phase at times. And some people...
get out.
And some people love it as a a retro styling, almost playing into the cliche. It's very eclectic mix of styles.
Would that be party clothing?
The thing is, though, the galaxy has gone through several trends where it's a three-piece suit with neon accents along the borders was in style at some point, and you could have it commissioned here. And, they're a manufacturing facility of the future. You commission it in within 5 minutes, you've got it. So,
I think in terms of the Starfinder choice, though, I think one of them is party. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, but do we want party or do we want formal?
Do we get a sense of what this shindig's going to be like? Has anyone on the tour group been on one before? We can ask.
I'll allow for that. You ask a couple of people, and it's like, well, there's kalistocrats who they're always dressed in their white, pristine white. Oh, heaven forbid they get dirty. And then there's usually the Abadar Corps with their fancy suits. But as for we mere mortals, I'm trying to find clothing. It's a mixture. I feel that it's probably a mixture of party and professional, although there's a couple of people who turn up in uniform and every day.
Business casual?
It's not formal. Formal it says wedding or funeral. I'm like, this is not one of those.
It could be.
We don't want it to be
You
one
can
of
get
those,
reconfigurable clothing.
Yeah.
The reconfigurable clothing is why you don't actually buy reconfigurable clothing and put it on. You buy it and then you get outfits to put into it. And then with a sort of like click of the fingers or a swish of the jacket, and it can change between,
up to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Up to 5 different styles.
I love it.
Oh my god, I want it.
Yeah, you get the feeling that it depends on what kind of impression you want to set. Everything from the sort of like very laid back of uniform every day. Uniform would tend to be more people who work here. So you'd be looking at, maybe if you really wanted to get edge uniforms. Or everyday wear. But then it's all like steps up. People who really do treat it like a party, they'll turn up in their party wear, whereas people who are more interested in the schmoozing will turn up in their profession.
Right. I'm not going to spend 100 credits on it, though. Not at this point.
Yeah, not for the reconfigurable.
No. I did buy a party outfit. A little black dress.
And then...
something that she can just, like, slide into and be done with it.
Is anybody buying? Is anybody else buying?
Yes.
Is anybody
I'm just
forcing Jahir to buy?
I thought I was a bodyguard, so surely I'm suitably dressed.
Maybe a new cloak, huh?
We get Jahir some professional clothing, maybe. What is professional bodyguard or?
No, their profession is mercenary.
Yeah.
What is your profession, Jahir?
Mercenary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give a +1 to doing mercenary checks in the future. Flimsy'll get that for Jahir as a thank you for helping him out on the battlefield a few times.
Well, thank you very much. What is it?
Now, I have a very important question. Can I buy this without talking to someone, as in this is the outfit, the 3 outfits I want, and can I program it myself, or do I need a tailor, as it were?
Why are you reluctant to talk to a tailor?
Well, if I was asking for an Edge uniform, for example, even though I don't work for Edge now, it's going to be really sus.
They're probably not going to ask too many questions into that. They'll just assume that you're here working with Edge. It's one of them where it's like, all right, you work for Edge, here's your uniform. Why you're not getting it from the company is a bit odd, but maybe you prefer the finer fit of a tailored uniform rather than the...
It's the thread count, you see. I have very delicate skin. She says with a tattoo on a gut.
But yeah, you can... You can just buy that clothing. If you wanted, you could start like design and spec it out yourself. They've got tablets for doing so. If you desired, but yeah, you can buy what you want.
I'm just gonna go get with the party and professional for now. Once we do some more recon, I might ask for an extra outfit to be put on it.
What's your party? What's your party wear?
Oh, my party wear is like a really kind of long, like sleeveless white top with like emblazoned Trix insignia kind of very mutely on there. And there's a strip of neon because of course there is. It kind of shows her midriff, and then she's wearing kind of like white short shorts that match. And then some booties. With little neon bracelets.
And your professional wear?
I'll get back to you on that one.
Fair enough. You can buy professional wear for not of your profession, by the way, but...
professional wear, I was like, interview suit. So like a blazer. With a little blue neon pocket. Some trousers.
Fair enough.
Nondescript.
But definitely professional.
Yeah.
All right. And you arrive back at the trade show to round off the tour. Are you going around the trade show at all?
What were the 3 companies that were set up here?
The 3 main companies. There's a lot of smaller stalls, but you see banners for Compiler Enterprises, Manifold Industries, and Ringwork Industries.
Yeah, Trix will check them out and be like overly enthusiastic about nerdy ship stuff.
Well, it isn't just nerdy ship stuff. Trix, you walk in and an individual walks up to you, and they're sort of like, you look like somebody who wants to live life on the edge.
Yes.
Have I got the development for you?
Ooh. Talk
Right this way. What it is they are kind of like jump jets, but micro-sized and down into fitting just your feet. With these beauties, you can jump over any gap you can imagine, and if you do actually get something as extravagant and bulky as a jetpack, these will even just give you a nice boost of speed while you fly around. And he's basically advertising to you thruster heels, very new, very exclusive. Side note, part of a tech revolution, which is the book that literally, I've got the PDF today. Paizo has started shipping out. It's not...
Ooh.
And I very quickly scroll through it for things of interest for you people. This is going to be yours for a mere 1,250 credits.
It is a bargain.
Can I put you down for a pre-order?
Oh, yes, certainly. Do you want payment up front or when it's out?
When it's out. We wouldn't want to deprive you of these until they're good and ready.
Of course. Money is no expense. Sign me up.
Are you giving your actual details?
No.
Or are you... Okay. You're just filling in, some apartment complex in Epsilon that you walked past once.
Yeah, I give them my psychiatrist's number.
I'll definitely take a stroll up and down the aisles, just looking for something that maybe will catch my interest. Anything involving, I think, ship design and null space, honestly.
You seem to have a perchance, madam, for cargo. Here at Compiler Industries, may I interest you in our line of models and also our design? Manufactured here on Abalon in the Horse High Plate. Our latest models of the AEV Group Defense Frigate and those who are all manufactured with storage in mind. And if you get your ships manufactured by us or your next fleet, I mean, who just buys one ship?
All right.
We offer to a deal on external expansion bays, allowing you to effectively double up the amount of cargo that you can build. And as part of our offer, you won't be paying the normal 3 BP price. You'll be paying the low price of only 2 BPs.
Very interesting, she feigns. I shall have to consider it. Maybe take the offer back to my business partner, and she'll take a business card off of her.
Here, take a brochure.
Sure, thank you. Actually, I haven't seen too much around here about such expanding of cargo resources on ships. You wouldn't happen to know much about your competition, would you?
Make me a persuasion roll. Diplomacy, sorry.
Okay, will do. Let's see what I get. 19.
Nice.
With so many trade and shipping companies out there, there's always going to be a lot of competition between and, the next. With our models which feature the external expansion bays, they tend to offer some of the latest or some of the biggest advances. I don't think we'll be seeing any such competition for the near future, at least. Although, if you have heard otherwise, do let us know.
Oh, no, of course. It's nice to know that this, and she waves the brochure, is the most cutting of edge storage technology. And then she'll walk away in her low business heels.
Jahir,
Hello.
you sticking around?
So you're saying there's only one stall, as it were, that concentrates on sort of storage things and...
There's lots of stalls, all with their own little specialities.
Well, yeah. I mean, can I find more military-based ones? Because, I don't know. Well, normally military tends to push the boundaries of things like that, don't they? So...
But you
maybe
find,
some...
3 stalls that are focusing on their displays being weapon-based for ships. One is manned by a Vesk who stands in front of an image of this massive weapon that then it starts layering up, and it seems to be a weapon that that extends from bow to tip throughout the entire length of the ship. There's another, which is a hobgoblin in a suit. They look a bit weird in a suit. But at the same token, they're there and they're sort of like trying to sell and introduce the concept of ramming prows for all your collision requirements. And then you see this meek-looking individual, probably, I'm going to say, a Lashunta, but, sorry, what are the types of Lashunta?
Demaya and Karasha.
Demaya Lashunta, who it's like they're introducing, and they're trying to sell, but they're speaking out to anybody who listens and not really gathering much attention. And it's like, we're introducing the all-new garbage ejection system. Never let anything go to waste. Turn your waste into anti-missile defense systems. With our patented technology, chaff distribution, your waste into effective and cheap alternative into disrupting incoming missiles. Waste sold separately.
That's actually pretty good, though.
Yeah, you probably find Flimsy already at that stall.
He's already on some.
I used to work on a garbage prow. This is perfect. This is the future of this man. He knows what he's doing.
And they take a very sort of like kind tone with you, and it's like, oh, you're the first person who's been genuinely interested all day.
Aw,
Genuine, right?
100%. Yeah.
Of course, yes.
So, Jahir,
Sorry, go on.
which are you particularly interested in? There are other things. There's personal upgrades. There's tech for on board the ship.
Are we shopping for us, or are we shopping for knowledge?
No, this is just me. You can shop for knowledge. If you desire, it's just more along the lines of I'm trying to sell you things and make you aware of some of the more interesting things that you can get in Starfinder. It's a trade show after all.
I want to talk to the hobgoblin in the business suit. I can't remember what he does, but he looks good.
Ramming speed, wasn't it? I think the
the ramming. Yeah, that's my.
Yeah, ramming prows. Our ramming prows reinforce and replace the materials of your ship to better absorb the massive energy displacement from collisions in space. You can easily turn any craft, even the small fighters that people like to dance around in, into a force to be reckoned with at very low costs.
What's your name? Excuse me, so I didn't catch your name.
My name is... Damn you, Jahir.
Rob Goblin.
Rob Goblin.
That's canon now.
Yes, I'm Rob Goblin.
So, Mr. Rob Goblin, I do like, I prefer to hit things, as you can tell. I prefer to get in there and, get in there deep and hit things. On a side note, if I wanted to squeeze something, say a lot of things, into a really small hole, would you know anyone that could help with that?
That's not really my speciality, but make me a diplomacy check.
Go for it. Go, Jahir.
18.
Hey!
Roll high when it doesn't matter.
I mean, I hear that from my friends at Edge, they're working on something. But I don't really pay too much attention to that sort of thing. I tell you what, if you meet me at the soiree this evening, I'll run some introductions, if you'd like.
Well, yeah, I think my companions might be pleased with that. Have you got a card, Mr. Goblin, Mr. R. Goblin?
Yeah. Here, take one, and take a pamphlet as well.
Oh, thank you. Remind me of your company name again, was it?
We're part of the Gideon Authority.
Naturally.
You know, those guys we screwed over.
Right.
They do actually do their own manufacturing, though, so...
Oh, nice.
Well, thank you for the information, Mr. Rob Goblin. I've got a mental note. Big things, small holes, Rob Goblin. Soirée. Let's go. Thank you for your time. And I'll steal one of those horrible jelly sweets that you get at all trade shows that just taste horrible.
Rix can't come back with a free yo-yo at some point for putting down some false information. She's not done a good enough job.
We could always sign Zobin up for some marketing information. He might appreciate the communication.
Flimsy, this attracts your attention. There's a individual at a stall, and in front of them, they've got all manner of buttons, cufflinks, tie pins, barrettes, and jewellery, which seems rather out of place.
It's spyware. Go for it.
I didn't think that the fashion element would be representing today.
Oh, the thing is, I can tell you're a man who likes his tools.
Yes, I'm quite the tool fidget myself.
Well, why not combine the two? That's the thing that occurred to me. And with a bit of effort and some rather exotic materials, you can actually get enough tensile strength, even in the thinnest and recombinable materials. May I introduce you to the all-purpose accessories? What you see here, it looks to be a standard cufflink, but with a click here and here, it will turn itself into a grappling hook. Clicking elsewhere, it takes a little time to fiddle around with it. So let's just put that down here. All of these will become a grappling hook with the right combination of presses and folds. But let's take this tie-pin. It's just a tie-pin, but how about if we press here, and it will become a fully functional pick-locking tool for disarming and dismantling any lock or mechanical trap that you may find yourself up against. And finally, there's also a option for this, and he picks up a piece of jewelry. And when you straighten it out like this and twist it into position here, it functions as a relatively useful survival knife. Small, but effective.
Well, I mean, I can't imagine myself to be in a position of needing many of those devices. Apart from maybe the personal security element of having a knife on you at any point. It's quite nice, I guess.
The thing is, all of these items can become any of those aforementioned items.
Oh, that's yeah. I mean, I can go for a fancy.
He starts then fiddling with one of the items, and you can see him sort of like trying to fold it back in on itself. And it seems to be a little bit more complicated than sort of like getting the item to be what it was. But he's just sort of like fiddling it with it as he's talking with you.
Looks like you could certainly do with something to kind of compress the size in there. I think you can put anything you like in there, I guess, if you could do that.
Indeed, yes, although the mechanisms are very delicate, and I don't really think there's much more compression that we can do with it, and unless we start getting into the messier things of... and after about a minute, he manages to get it back into a cufflink. And it's like, there we go.
I mean, that's going to be impressive enough to see, though, right? So somebody putting a grappling hook into a cufflink. Like, that's going to be fairly impressive to look at.
And he sort of like puts it back down on his display, and it's like, without getting into magic, I don't think there's much more. And the problem with magic, it's very, I I just find it a little bit distasteful, like it's cheating or something.
I know what you mean. It's not something I've particularly got into, but I've seen the use of it in a lot of places. And storage is one of those, I guess. I guess we're all at one day going to have to get used to having magic as part of our daily lives. I don't suppose. I mean, I'm obviously a heavy investor in edge technology. But, I've got a lot of stocks and shares that could be put into other places. I don't know if you know of any up-and-coming things that might be of some competition with Edge.
Are we just talking about storage?
No, not necessarily just about storage, about anything that might be kind of on the... Is there any particularly busy stall at the trade show?
Not especially. It's a lot of people milling around. It seems like this trade show is open pretty much at all hours, at all times.
Oh, okay.
It's a permanent feature of the Horse-Eye orbital plate.
It's not like the World's Trade Show, whatever it was called, where they had big displays, big fancy displays going on.
That's more reserved for special occasions, and at the moment it's just, this is more like Kickstarter in 3D.
So don't know if you've heard of any particular rivals in that area.
I mean, there's a lot of people who try to rival Edge, but at the same token, not many apart from Abadar Crore have the money and influence to put up a sizable opposition. You might want to try the Multifold. They've got some improvements in automation.
Well, as you can see from my attire, I am interested mostly in storage and making sure it's all efficiently put away. And I do like what you've done here. If it could be applied on a grander scale, maybe that would be interesting. Is that something you've got any lines in?
I mean, I work at getting things as small as possible, not as large as possible.
With more the grand scale of putting big things into small spaces.
Yes, this is bigger things into small spaces, but like I say, it's all mechanical. None of this magic.
No worries. Well, I'll take a leaflet from you. How much do these baubles of yours go for?
Oh, a mere 1,500 credits.
Oh, that's not too bad. You paid more than that for a jeweled cufflink, let alone one that'll take you up a flight of stairs.
Aye, and that was my intention with them. Can I interest you in pre-ordering one?
So what were the options again?
The options are, it's anything that you might consider an accessory. So,
okay. It's not just those three things.
Cufflinks, tie-pins, barrettes, and jewellery are just all like ones he's got on display. But no, it can be, it could be a hairpin if you wanted. But it will transform into these three tools. All of our designs mainly focus on these tools. Maybe we'll come out with another one later in the year.
Yeah, if you can put me down for maybe one of the hairpin ones, that'll be interesting to see.
Mm-hmm. If you put up 10%, put down 10% of the cost now, I'll make sure that you'll get some of the first editions.
What's that like? It's more than 100 quid, right?
It's 150 credits.
Well, I've got a lot of investments to deal with around here at the moment. This is more of a sideline. But I'm looking forward to seeing it out there. I'm sure I'll hear lots of great things about it as they come out.
Hopefully. And you can tell by their general impression that they're done dealing with you now. It's like, they're one of them people where it's like, oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea, but is never willing to put any real effort into supporting it.
Cool. Yeah, things will We'll give him a polite nod and mosey on to meet up with the others.
And yes, there is more of the trade show for you to go around and observe if you wish, although I think, I don't feel that you're going to get much more, if any, information at this stage from the trade show. But I did prepare this all in a little bit of a text document. And I'm just going to actually, before I forget, post this up on the Discord for Manapot Studios.
Cool.
Under the All That Glitters Explodes. And you can read that at your leisure. Because I did try to pick up more of the interesting items. Including Tim's. But you'll have to read them on Discord.
So I think we get back and we obviously talk a little bit about, the tour that we had. But yeah, so I think Yeva just kind of sits down and she says, well, I guess I hope that tonight the soiree will be a little bit more fruitful. We can maybe loose lips, sink ships, and whatnot.
Sounds like a good plan. I tried to see if I could find maybe if we could get it in with a competitor, maybe to cause some sort of distraction. If they suddenly start having a big trade show, and it might draw some attention. But it seems like it's all kind of settled here. There's no real big rivalries going on.
Yes, unfortunately, I do not know. I guess if we, the person to look out for tonight would be that woman.
Elaine. Elaine, Razor. The executive vice president of EdgeCorp.
Yeah, the Calistrate prophet.
Are we going to be... What do you think? Should we approach her? Should we avoid her?
I do not... I mean, maybe it'd be better to talk to someone in her orbit first.
That's a good idea. I don't know if
Get the feelers out, get people drunk enough to start spilling secrets.
That sounds like a good plan. I think it's the only lead we've got in trying to find a contact in there, I guess.
Is that going to be you, Yeva? I mean, I don't think I could. I don't think she's going to talk with the likes of me.
I would certainly try to, I suppose, but other than that, I don't have anyone else. Know who else we can approach from EdgeCorp.
I met a Mr. Rob Goblin who said he could introduce us to some people that might be of interest. So maybe if we sort of divide and conquer and do it that way.
Oh, sounds like an excellent inn.
Right, that sounds great. I also have my Charming Veneer cantrip, which will allow me to gather information in 10 minutes rather than like an hour or however long it takes. So it might not be the worst idea. My favorite thing to do when attending parties is first and foremost to saunter clockwise around the room, making sure that everyone can see me, and then from there, go back counterclockwise, speaking to all of the people that just saw me.
So what roles are we going to play? I mean, I'm a bodyguard, but am I your bodyguard, Yeva? Or would that seem reasonable?
How do we want to split that then?
I don't mind maybe trying to find some more techie-minded folk and see if I can lead them down a conversation.
The way I see it at the moment, you've got two leads, which is Elaine and Rob Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
Splitting you all off into individuals might prove problematic.
Right. So I think that definitely puts you in one group, Jahir, because you've got the contact there. And then I suppose it would be Flimsy or I in the other who trying to meet with Elaine. Elaine?
Line.
We
If
can
you-
ask her the pronunciation of her name when we see her.
Yeah. I think Eva, you're a bit more graceful, maybe a bit more of a presence corporate-wise. We all saw what happened when we were delayed that time with the hobgoblins. You sorted that out right quick.
Flimsy, you are too kind, but I do believe that you and I are equally skilled in the art of persuasion.
That's probably true. I sort of thought maybe she might get more online with you, but I can go and give her a try.
But how good are you at lying?
Well, I am the best there is at lying. Yeah,
I believe him. I believe him.
Flimsy, roll me a bluff and everybody else's sense motive.
It's a 9 from Flimsy.
I mean, I got an 8 sense motive.
24 cents.
no.
Motive.
I got a 4, so yeah, whatever you say.
All right, okay. If you feel like you can play the spy, then by all means.
I'm looking at the rest of the crew like, wait, no. What?
Are you going to take that away from Flimsy?
No, he's the best. Sure. Can I go with Flimsy's group?
I was going to say, maybe seeing the panic in Flimsy in Trix's eyes, be like, well, maybe sabotage and espionage is not really my forte as much as just, trying to befriend somebody who's... If we've got a contact with Jahir, maybe that might be a more successful route for myself.
Would also like to point out the third option, which is just slinking around and seeing what you can eavesdrop.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
That's not the worst idea.
Just throwing it out there because it's let's go up and talk to these people. And it's no, just listening to what they're saying to each other.
I would be curious in... Oh, sorry.
No, I'm finished.
I would be curious in talking to Aline. If she's there, it's a big if, right? Or if we see any Calistrate people, they're very obvious, the white and gold sort of thing.
The extravagant. I mean, have you seen her hair accessory? You can bet your bottom dollar that's real gold.
Lindsay's very much doesn't like this type of person. It's very much outside of their wheelhouse.
So, which way are you pairing up?
Yeah, I'd be much happier to go along Jahir's contact, assuming that that's not Elaine herself.
No, it was that Rob Goblin fellow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If that's who he's introducing us to, though.
Yes, that's true.
All right, so then Trix and I will do the sweep of the soiree and listening and talking and trying to find Aline or whoever.
I'll go along with you here, and we'll find this hobgoblin contact of his. Sorry, Rob
Going
Goblin.
on a date with Yeva.
Plus, we have the hot new outfits.
We do.
We'll look like such a power couple entering.
I noticed the doors were keycard locked. I don't know how you are with... You've told me some tales of your life. If you're able to maybe acquire one at this shindig without being noticed, it might not be the worst idea.
Sorry, was that to me or Jahir?
To Trix.
Oh, yeah, no, I am already the son of quite an affluent merchant. The daughter of an affluent merchant. Lady Latrix Bombardier.
Excellent.
Okay,
Castrobel.
I'll try to remember that.
Well, friends just call it Trix.
Oh, yeah.
Great. Easy peasy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and so make your way to the soiree. It is a massive hall, and you can see sort of like there's a little bit of everything in here that you might expect to see. You see sort of like rows of buffet food. You see a couple of bar islands dotted about the place. It doesn't seem to have any sort of like focal point. Although you're also pretty sure that if need be, some kind of focal point could be summoned if you needed to.
Well, Lady Latrix, would you like to do the rounds with me?
Of course, Miss Eva, I would love to, and I raise a hand.
She definitely takes it. And will cast Charming Veneer on herself. To get that bonus.
Right, Trix and Yether, make me perception checks.
Okay.
Oof.
Better than...
It's 10 for me.
I had a 6.
It takes you a while, and Trix is a little bit distracted with champagne. Mainly likes it for the bubbles. To sort of like do the round. It's a fairly big place, and there's a lot of people here. And you almost miss it, but it's sort of like on your return loop round, where you sort of like notice the stunning white of the dress style of the Kalistrad. So like they've got their own little corner, where you see a few of them conversing.
Do we see Aline in the group?
You've not looked obviously over there. It's more sort of like this is what you've called out of the corner of your eye, and you nearly missed it. So.
Oh, okay. I'm suddenly nervous.
Why? You see, just every time you look over to Trix, she's like grabbing like an hors d'oeuvre. You're like, why?
All right. So she kind of like soothes, moves smooths out her little black dress. She's probably wearing like a golden bracelet and black, like much taller black heels with red underneath on the bottom part of the heels.
What that make you?
I'm probably. I mean, it's not gonna. It's a whole 12 inches would be a huge heel, but yeah. I mean, I would be. I mean, I'm 12 and a half normally, so I'm probably at like, a few inches away, maybe from 13 feet. It's not a huge. It's just whatever. Anyway, she doesn't care. She's not bothered by it.
You do stand out.
Own it, girl. Own it.
That's the plan. And she'll make sure Charming Veneer is on. And I guess, you know what? It lasts for 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and cast it on Trix as well. So we can both get a +1 to our next charisma roll for the next 10 minutes. And head over to the group of the Kalistrad folks.
Oh, we're going straight there. I love it.
All right. And she takes her little drink and just downs it. All right, let's do this.
So as you approach, you can see that they're all dressed in, a lot of gold. It's one of the things we kind of touched on this briefly last week, where it's like their philosophy is divinity is achieved through the accumulation of wealth.
The draconic approach to life.
It's not just that. You can see now that when it comes to sort of like their area, there is a sort of like separate buffet, and it seems to be very select and very, there's not a shred of meat there. Everything seems to be very fresh, very cleansed, as much as you can tell by looking at it. And
Very vegan.
it's very absolute dietary requirement, although you're not quite sure what that relates to.
All right.
Are you still holding hands out of interest?
No, we probably let go because they don't like touching.
Right. Good callback. Yes.
Somebody remembered.
So I think we'll you grab a new drink and like approach maybe like a bar table with some Calistradians on it and just introduce ourselves. Maybe.
Maybe?
Yes, definitely.
You walk up to somebody and go, no, not right now.
It's like trying to inject yourself into a stranger's like there's a group having a conversation. You're like, oh, I need to get in there.
Yeah.
As you approach, one of them turns to face you, and it's like, oh, hello.
Hello, and I curtsy and do a little bow.
And they nod in your direction.
Good evening. How are you enjoying the party?
Oh, it's a bit loud, I would say, but this is what many people choose to spend their time doing. We're just here to make ourselves present, as it were.
Yes, but one must make an appearance at these things. I understand completely.
Oh, I'm glad somebody does. I mean, I don't recognize your attire.
Oh no, I unfortunately don't have the pleasure of being indoctrinated into your prestigious.
Even so, I can't tell who made it.
Oh, this is an original. Let me do a little twirl. Only the best. I don't trust anyone else's hands.
Ah, that is refreshing.
You can tell, of course, and I motion to the Trix brand on the shirt without touching it.
I had my designers make it. I wouldn't actually touch the fabric myself. Way too much manual labor.
You can tell, of course, that this line is from the House Trix.
House Bombardier.
Bombardier,
The
yes.
the Trix original.
Oh, right, exactly.
Well, there's nothing wrong with getting your hands in the work of it. It's just one must strive to do better for themselves.
Fascinating. I must say our ulterior motive for coming over here is that, we've only recently arrived to the Horseye, and, I've always been such a fan of the Calistrate prophets and your philosophies, and so I thought, who else to introduce ourselves to? I don't see anyone else here who's even matching up to your level of grandeur and eleganza.
We saw your ship on entry. We were absolutely beside ourselves. We didn't think we'd ever get the chance to meet your ilk.
Make me diplomacy checks.
Diplomacy, really?
2 separate, or are we aiding?
2 separate.
Okay, don't forget that +1.
Yeah, yeah. I was aiming for bluff, you fiend. It's a 9 from me.
19 for me.
You're being so sincere about it, Trix.
Am I? Really?
Make me a bluff then, but you're gonna have to beat a sense motive.
$24.
Oh,
Not bad.
I rolled a 23.
ah! Oh my god.
I mean, I suppose it is. One must always help out those who aren't so unfortunate. Come, sit with us a while and we can discuss philosophies. And they invite
The
you.
moon when he finds out. Toddle in at their invitation.
To sort of like sit within their orbit.
Wonderful. Many thanks.
You now see Elaine is there. They're not the head of the party, as it were. That is taken by a regal woman who their hair isn't as, or their accessories aren't as showing on the head, but you can see that like their rings on their fingers and bracelets around the arms and legs are all gem encrusted gold platinum wear. But you do see Elaine there as well. Jahir, flimsy.
Do we see Mr. Rob Goblin around at all?
Make me perception checks.
I've had him described to me.
I mean, the last you saw it was a hobgoblin in a suit, so.
Okay.
5.
It's a 20 from Flimsy.
And so you start getting into the party. You stood at the door. It's like Jahir, you don't really see much, and it's like, might as well head for the bar at least. And Flimsy, you follow in tow, and so like just as you're approaching a bar, Flimsy, you see a hobgoblin in a suit who calls over. Oh, you there? You. I didn't get your name. Calling out to Jahir.
So we walk up to him. Mr. Rob Goblin, this is my associate. I was telling you about this is Flimsy. He's probably more knowledgeable in things mechanical and technical. But I was explaining that you might be able to introduce us to some people.
Well,
Flimsy Bold Gold Dust, Jahir. Hob Crusher, sorry. My friend here, Hob Crusher, has said that you have a potential interest for us.
I mean, first of all, allow me to get a dwarf a drink.
I'd be more than honored.
And he turned back to the bar, and as much as they're getting you a drink, they're just ordering it. There's no exchange of money.
Yeah, the gesture's nice though.
But there is a gesture there.
Yeah.
And they get you both a drink, and it is a fairly strong. I don't want to say mead. What do I want to say? Pick a drink. Something of the meadish variety that a dwarf would drink.
Moonshine. I guess an ale is It's a dwarvish kind of drink, I guess.
He turns back around and they're served in pints. And it's like, now I think you'd be interested in this. We here call it rocket fuel. Give it a try. And he hands over a couple of drinks.
Has he got one himself?
He has got one himself. And he starts sort of like cheersing and knocking him back a bit.
Cheers to you, Mr. Goblin. Yeah, take a good swig of it.
Take a good swig of it. Make me, both of you make me a... Oh, sorry, Jahir, are you drinking?
No, I'm just going to nurse it.
You're just nursing it, okay.
The bodyguard doesn't drink on duty.
Why is he on duty in a place like this? This is a soiree, you know. People come here to relax.
I've been doing it for years. I just can't escape the habit of it. It's just one of those things.
I'm a valuable individual. I represent a collective of stakeholders who have a vested interest in potential opportunities here at Horseye. It's always best to be protected in such ventures.
I'm a valuable individual. I know how to get stuff done.
That is always a valuable commodity. I would recommend getting yourself one of Crusher's friends maybe here.
Make me a fortitude saving throw, Flimsy.
Oh yes, for the booze. 16.
Pretty strong, and you understand why they call it rocket fuel.
Got a kick to it, that's for certain.
And I thought the dwarves would like something with a kick to it.
Aye. It's got a familiar zing. Is that rust I can taste?
Rust? Why would you put rust in booze?
Oh, you've never had rust ale? Oh. Next time you're on a Star Citadel, my friend, I've got a treat for you.
Well, I'll hold you up to that if I ever find myself leaving this place. Pretty decent digs they've got around here.
Have you been here a while? Have you been on the station long?
I've been here a good couple of months. Just trying to drum up trade for the Gideon Authority. They're trying to expand their horizons.
I hear they had some troubles not long ago. Anything about that?
Troubles? No, not really.
Oh, that's good then. So, anything interesting happen around here? It's a bit boring. It's there must be something more exciting than cattle maneuvering ships and space.
Yes, there's drink, but you won't have any of it.
True. These people you're gonna.
The value of cattle moving ships. Crusher.
I said that and I thought, do they have cattle? I'm sure they must.
Oh, of course they have cattle. Harry, you wanted to be introduced to some of my associates.
Yeah, no, we did. I feel that you and Flimsy it's almost like you've known each other your entire lives. It's the way you're carrying on. Do you need me to leave, or is it,
Oh, you can stay if you want. It's just, hours after drinking partners and only one of you drinks.
Oh, well, maybe a bit later I might participate, but don't let me stop you. It looks like lovely stuff. Looks like you could degrease an engine with that. It's good.
Oh, don't worry, I won't be stopping anytime soon. And he just finishes the rest of the drink. Are you keeping up, Flimsy?
Can I do a sense motive whilst I've got my senses about me to see whether or not is he trying to get me drunk, or is he genuinely looking for a drinking partner?
Yeah, make me a sense motive.
14 from Flimsy.
He just wants drinking buddies. You know, as Jahir has mentioned, there's not really much to do on this plate, other than, as far as he can tell, get drunk.
Flimsy will try and finish the rest of the drink. What probably drinking is all good as it is, but most of us come here to the horse side to make deals. Who is this individual you've spoken about? And finish the drink whilst they wait for a response.
Make me another fortitude save.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a 9.
Well, you're definitely starting to feel it. I'm trying to think of the right. Yeah, but okay. Any further deception is going to be at a negative for your Flimsy.
I've not lied to him so far.
I'm just saying that anything that you try going forward, deception-wise, is going to be at a negative, as you can't quite hold your tongue.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I feel lubricated as a well-oiled engine.
You have to watch him, Mr. Rob Goblin. He's if he has a few drinks, he tends to get up to some escapades. Travels to places he shouldn't be going and finding things he shouldn't be finding. It can be some interesting nights with Mr. Flimsy here.
Flimsy will try and pat Jahir as hard as
Well,
he can.
let's see if we can make it an interesting night then, shall we? Come, I'll introduce you to my friends. And he introduces you to a couple of humans, both dressed in edge core overalls. And, it's Richard and I'm trying to think of another name. Susan.
That's an unusual space names there, Richard and Susan.
How did you meet Rob Goblin?
They're humans. They don't have any imagination about them.
Man.
Have they got any? You say was it EJ on there?
Edge, yeah. EJ.
Yeah. How do they seem? Do they seem like workers or middle management?
Their overalls are grease stained. They seem to be somewhere in manufacturing most of the time. And they're already into their cups. They wave to Rob Goblin when they arrive, and it's like, Rob, are you getting us around? No, that's Rob's voice. I don't have any other voices prepared, so they say, "Oh, are you getting us around?" Yeah, the bar's a little wobbly. Do you want to get this one, Rob? All right, go on then. And he tootles off back to the bar.
I can see you're both hard workers, kind of looking at the grease-stained edge suits. It's good to meet a pair of proper workers here, rather than just those who are all talk.
It's not my kind of. I didn't even know what a soiree was before I came in, so I feel a bit. I feel a bit more sort of that you're at my level. Do you know what I mean? He loosens his mercenary outfits.
I mean, these soirees, as they like to call them, they're just tough and tough. It's just another excuse to get drunk, isn't it? No matter whether you call it a shindig, a soiree, or a piss-up.
Yeah, I mean, let me fill your cups up with, and I'll pour my my drink into theirs to sort of keep them going till you get back from the bar. So.
Oh, very kind of you. And they immediately both start getting to the drinking. So, what brings you to the plate?
Oh, well, Well, you take it, Flimsy. It's, you can
No,
describe
go.
No.
Oh, well, one of you just talk already.
Well, we are stakeholders in the good Edge company there, as you say. And we're here investigating what kind of wondrous things Edge is coming up with next. I fear they're lagging behind the competition a bit, maybe. And hopefully there'll be some hope down the line for them.
They might be lagging now, but they've always got something up their sleeve, and they're big enough to take care of themselves. Ain't that right, Susan? And she's like half in a mug, just going, uh-huh.
We had this crew, flying one of those BD Star, and they were delivering some guns. Oh, they made a right mess of it. And I said to Flimsy, I said, if we could just squeeze more into that ship, our profits could just go through the roof, but
it's impossible.
Crews and it's just. Yeah, there's only so much you can fit in a BD, It's square peg, round hole.
Yeah, trust the Edge to put a squeeze on things.
What you're talking about is impossible to hear. No one's got the technical skills or the ingenuity to build something like that, I don't think.
I mean, that would be a game changer, wouldn't it? I mean, just think how many bananas you could get in a BD if you could, triple the capacity somehow.
And at this point, Rob Goblin comes back, and it's like, I just remembered, I forgot to do introductions. But you seem to be getting along fine. Drinks! And he puts down a platter of mugs. 5, one for each of you. Giving the side eye to Jahir. And you sit and you converse for a short while, making idle chatter. As we jump back to Trix and Yever. And you've been given the pamphlet talk of the Kalistrade philosophy. One of the things is it's not just about accumulating wealth, it's also about maintaining your purity in terms of being careful what you touch, what you eat, what you drink. The thing is, though, it's not as rigorous, and there isn't any particular penalties in amongst the Kalistrades. Death through starvation because you refuse to eat some unclean meal is just nonsense. If there is nothing else to eat, you eat. But you must strive as soon as possible to get back to the clean foods, the clean drinks. And you can see, they are drinking crystal clear water, as far as you can make out. None of them seem to be drunk.
Interesting.
And one must also present themselves with a certain degree of cleanliness. As you can see, with our clothes, we tend not to get dirty.
On that respect, I would agree with you fully. Oh, there it is. Sorry, lost the the Zoom call for just a minute. All right. No, is it? Hold on.
Sorry, which house did you say you belong to, my dear? As she addresses Trix.
Yes, I'm from House Bombardier. We're a merchant family on Castrovel.
Castrovel, you say? Interesting that you've managed to establish a foothold there. You know, it tends to be very Lashunter and Formian and Elven driven.
Oh, yes.
Which continent do you hail from?
Oh, you know. I hate you.
Big one.
Big one.
So you've got Sana, which is the Lashunter. You've got Sana is Lashuntan, and I honestly can't remember the full name or the elf.
Is that not one where we just were?
That's a city on Asana.
Okay.
But yeah, you would know which continent roughly was which, but which continent or which continent per race were you going to bluff with?
Mainly the Lashunta one. I was fortunate enough to be adopted, you see. I'm not of pure blood, but my father was unfortunately barren, and so decided to look outside the family for a potential heir.
Oh, you're an heir and adopted.
Until such a time that father and mother are blessed with, a legitimate child.
Although, if it is, as you say, he is barren, then maybe a lifestyle change would help motivate things.
Oh, indeed. I have always advocated your particular way of life. Certainly, he has expressed interest, but has always been a little bit prudent. Mm-hmm. He's very averse to change, is my father. It has taken many years.
Yes, and this lifestyle, if you're unprepared, can take a toll, having to deal with the great unwashed. It is a place of privilege that we can remain here in such a clean environment.
I'm curious. There must be great profit available here at Torsai for there to be so many kalistocrats in one space. What is it? What kind of work is it that you are invested in or investigating here at the Horsai?
You saw our craft on the way in. We'd regularly have a ship of that magnitude commissioned here. And once it is ready, then we shall be seeing it off and depart. The next set of kalistocrats will come in to oversee the future endeavors. We all try to invest as vastly as possible into these ships, as well as, I should say, outdo each other.
And I assume that this magnificent ship would have some sort of technological advantage over the predecessor that was built here. After all, constant improvement is what we should all strive for.
Constant improvement is what we do strive for. However, unfortunately, when you reach such a pinnacle like this, improvements tend to come slowly. Although I do say that our dear Elaine here, has said that they've been dabbling with certain technologies that might help with our efforts. You see, one of the things is, because we have so much to transport, the nature of the cargo, as you can assume, is rather extravagant, and our ships can only hold so much until they make such an enormous size, and are unfortunately subject to becoming targets for certain individuals. Whereas Elaine here believes that they are on the edge of some, I don't really understand, but it's It's something to do with being a bit more discreet about these things while maintaining a sizable donation.
Fascinating. You know, Latrix and I, we met in the shipping and logistics industry. So we have quite an extensive amount of experience when it comes to long-haul freighters.
Oh, interesting. What is the size of your fleet?
Oh, massive. There are many crews that are working with our company.
Yeah.
Drinks is like giving with the side eye, like smooth.
Well, which company did you say that it was you worked for again?
We are stakeholders with EdgeCore.
Ah, stakeholders.
It was a private venture I stepped into to prove my worth. Nothing more.
Indeed. And they've kind of deduced your status here.
Yeah.
Your stakeholders, you've had some form of investment into EdgeCore, but you don't really own much. Or certainly, Kalistrades are used to owning and dealing with companies rather than dealing with shares of companies.
Of course, we merely wanted the chance to learn more about your practices and methodologies, and are quite thankful for your attention this evening.
And you are welcome. And like we say, work hard and you too can achieve some a level of divinity if you follow in the ways of the Kalistrad.
Thank you.
And I'll endeavour to do so, and hopefully once I take over Father's company, that shall be what happens.
And with that, I bid you good evening.
Good evening.
Make me perception checks as you're sort of like very politely but shooed away.
Like one of them would give Trix a card for like an assassin or something, speaking about taking over the father's business.
You want to get there faster, dear? There you go.
17.
23 for me.
You both notice sort of like Elaine rise as you disengage.
Okay.
And go about the soiree. And she sort of like very quickly excuses herself and gets on a personal comm unit and sort of like picks up the call and sort of like starts wandering, listening to this call.
Can I take you over by the hand? Oh, did the
Kalistocrat.
Did they give us any sort of like pamphlets or anything we can look at?
Oh no.
How?
I didn't think they were.
They were giving you the pamphlet detail, but they didn't give you any pamphlets. That would mean that would mean sharing a touched object. You see.
Well, if Aline is very busy, not noticing us on her phone call, maybe I should try and cast Charm Person on her at this point.
Oh, I was just gonna eavesdrop, but Yeva, you rebel.
I mean, this is how Yeva got her job, is by going to networking events, which for at that low level EdgeCore is just like some job fair somewhere. And accidentally using these abilities, so she's pretty good at it. Well, she thinks she is. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna cast Charm Person. I don't have a target, so just I'll let you roll the will save. DC 14. Yes.
Networking plus.
So like she's like, Trix, cover me, and she just kind of like moves her hands behind your back and like shoots this kind of very light iridescent energy that's covered by the lights of the nightclub atmosphere into the back of Aline.
And with a 2 on the dice,
Way.
do believe that is a failure.
All right. Should we approach while she's on the phone call? We should definitely like get in the way so that she will, after the phone call, will turn and see me and like will feel something. Again, the spell's lasting for 2 hours too, so.
I would like to try and eavesdrop on the conversation a little bit before we.
Yeah. So as you sort of like starts making your way there, as it was, she's ambling, and she sort of like turns around and notices you approaching, as it were. But at the same token, she just sort of like holds up her hand and to signify it's like, oh, if you'll just give me a moment. Sorry, I just need to take this.
Yeah. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna turn to Yeva and do that thing that background actors do, and just like mime talking. To dim the crowd as to not make too much of a fuss. Like,
I'm currently trying to find out what she's saying on the phone. The Blue Blazers, is it?
I love it when that Charm Person. It's such a hard spell to take, because it can either work and be amazing or not and be a waste.
Make me perception checks.
come on, Trix. 18. Yeva, let's go.
What have you got?
6. She's really into the acting. But also,
and-
she's so tall, there's probably like a speaker right here.
Yeah, unfortunately, neither of you can quite make out what the
No.
other person on the phone call is saying.
Okay.
But there's a bit of mumbling, followed by Eline saying, "Very well then. Give everyone a few days off. We've come in on time and under budget. I do suppose they deserve a chance to celebrate." And there's a bit more mumbling. And she goes, "Yes, the security staff should be able to cover everything that'll come up in the meantime. I've got to go. I've got company." And she hangs up the phone, as it were. The personal comms.
Mistress Razora, I presume?
Hi, I am she.
I hope you do not mind. We are such fans of your work.
I have done what I can for Edge Core, and I do what I must to try to elevate others into such a position that I am fortunate to be in.
That is precisely why I wanted to meet you so badly. My friend here and we have recently left employment of EdgeCore and become shareholders in an attempt to take our first steps towards the gathering of abundance and elegance, such as yourself. It's really, truly an inspiration.
Why, thank you. You're going independent then?
We're trying our best. That is why we came straight to Horseye to see what a great first investment might be. And, well, if there's anyone here around this place that would know a wonderful beginner investment to start amassing wealth, I figured it might be you, Mistress Razora.
Make me a diplomacy.
Okay. 23.
Nice.
To my trusted friend.
You are such good friends.
Well, we could be.
You could be.
I tell you what, the thing is, in trading and dealing is a bit of a laborious process, and it's more, it tends to be a lot down to opportunity more than it is just, not just hard work, you see. But I tell you what, if you give me your contact details, I'll have some material that I read when I was starting out forwarded on to you, and hopefully you'll find some of that somewhat inspirational.
Right.
That's
well,
amazing.
Thank you so much. I mean, any little bit of help from you is wonderful. I certainly appreciate it, and I'll go ahead and hold up my personal comm and swipe it to pass my information to her.
Yep, and she receives it, holding up her personal comm, not touching, of course.
Of course. If you wouldn't mind me taking any more of your time, I'm curious. Are you working on anything new and exciting?
I'm working on a project at the moment here in combination with Edge and the kalistocrats.
Yes, they did mention.
Yes, unfortunately, it is rather sensitive detail, and I can't go into too much, but hopefully it should help revolutionize cargo transport.
Oh, revolution. That sounds amazing. And
That sounds like it's worth investing in. Could you maybe give us some, not so much details, because understandably that's confidential information, but if we were to get ahead of the competition, as it were...
I'm afraid we're not looking for investors at this juncture.
Oh, that is a shame.
Well, I don't have anything else. All right. Well, thank you so much for your help. And yes, then she kind of bows. Sorry, I'm just starstruck.
It's okay. These things happen to the best of us. Do enjoy your evening, and the material. I do hope that it will be of some use to you. Let me know how it goes.
Of course. My name is obviously Yeva, by the way. Forgot to introduce myself.
Elaine.
Of course.
They really each. You can't remember a freaking name.
I've got it on screen and everything, and I look at it and it's like Elaine. No, Elaine.
Eva's spells messing with her head.
The thing is, I think I've done it every single time that I've mentioned this person. Elaine. No, Elaine.
Well, I have a wonderful evening.
You two, go enjoy yourselves, and remember what we said about, the purity of body is paramount to our organization.
Right, only sparkling water from here on out.
Indeed. Good evening. And she goes back and sits with the rest. One of the things that I will say, the material that she is going to be sending you, when you're making any kind of trades deal, for the first 3, you're going to get a bit of a bonus on the rolls that you make.
Nice.
As a bit of an insight. Make a note of that because I probably will forget it. But it's one of them where it's like, no, you made some pretty impressive rolls, so she's going to give you some genuine advice, which is going to give you a bit of a boost starting off. But I don't have anything to hand to give you.
Got it. Boost on first 3 trades rolls.
Yep.
All right.
Now she did I did hear on the phone call that she was saying about letting some of the staff off because the work's done and ahead of schedule. So I could go wander the corridors and see which door they come out of.
Do you think they're leaving right now?
I don't know when they're leaving.
Probably in the morning.
Most of the people have down tools for the day. That little insight of information, if I may be so blunt, is letting you know that for the next couple of days at least, the facility is
minimal staff.
Just
aka
security. I'm thinking we need to tell the guys this, but I'm thinking we have a short opportunity. Just like she said, it's all about those opportunities.
Gotta take that Calistrite logic to heart.
Let's go meet with them. Flimsy.
It looks like they're in the middle of drinking with a hobgoblin and 2 randos from Edge. maybe let them carry on with that for a bit. We'll maintain our aloofness as wannabe Calistrites, I assume.
Right.
She looks longingly at the alcohol, like. Oh.
Well, we could do vodka sodas. They probably wouldn't know.
Well, they wouldn't know.
Maybe some H2O now.
If it doesn't set a light, it's not worth it.
Flimsy Jahir. Jahir, are you still not drinking? Everybody else is about 3 rounds in by now.
Yeah, I know from personal experience that after after the initial wariness and the side eyes, that people just forget and not notice anymore. So,
so you're staying sober.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Flimsy, are you keeping up?
You'll be keeping up.
All right, make me another 2 fortitude saves.
See that tall one there leaving? I once saw them shoot a slug in the drift outside of a spaceship. 2 15s from Flimsy.
2 15s. So no further penalties.
Hey.
Now will you both make me some kind of persuasion roll, either diplomacy or bluff?
Can do diplomacy.
You could use intimidation, but there's a really good chance that if that goes badly, this conversation is going to end abruptly.
See how persuasive Lindsay can be.
16.
21.
So this Eline woman, she's got us working day and night on this tech. I mean, we're just about there. I don't know what else she wants from us.
What kind of rubbish have they got you working on?
Oh, just... Well... You know, null space chambers.
Oh, man. Aye. I've
Richard
seen
goes
one
from
or
0 to
two.
60.
Do you know how difficult it is to make them really big? I mean, really big.
Well, they can't go much bigger than like this, and kind of like hold up the glass to kind of.
You could never get me in one of those. I wouldn't fit, would I? Can you imagine me climbing into one of them as a bit of fun?
This is the thing. It's said to be impossible, but I think we've only got uncracked it.
What? I don't know. You're having me on now. What, Susan? What do you think about that?
Sheesh. There's a red shirt Sedex.
Have to see it to believe it.
Yeah, I mean, where would you hide something like that on a public station like this? You know, everyone would know what was going on around there.
Oh, they've passed out.
Oh, okay. To be fair, they were pretty open about it, so that's all good. It's Flimsy sober enough to... Go on.
I was going to say, could we maybe sneak a peek at their identity cards or their credentials or their, big key card door things?
So, yes, you will be able to.
Could Flimsy sort of clone one of their things? Or...
The main issue is Rob Goblin is still here. And one of the things is, this is why he needs new drinking partners. Because he is still our peril or lightweights.
Flimsy's still
Look at them.
on his feet. Rob, these two, they're humans. Come on, give them a break.
Yeah.
Let's you and me go and get a drink at the bar. Come on, it's on me.
You think they learn though? Pushes one of them clean over onto the floor.
I mean, I could take them. I could take them back to their quarters if you want. To their embarrassment and to their race. It's
Embarrassment to their race.
You do what you want with them, and he puts his arm around Flimsy. Oh, you're a little lower than I expected.
I'm not that strong. I'm sorry.
Well, this is what you say about the bar again.
Come on, let's get a few more drinks in us. We'll see. We'll put all rivalries to bed on the bottom of this bar. Let's go.
And you escort him to the bar. And both of you continue to drink. How drunk are you getting, Flimsy, or are you just trying to drink this guy under the table?
Flimsy's got no intention of actually trying to drink one at the table. Just wants to give Jahir a bit of space for a bit. Maybe after like one or two more drinks, we'll like call it a day if Jahir's kind of cleared out afterwards.
Jahir, can I get a sleight of hand? So first of all, what are you doing with them?
I was going to sort of try and get him like out the room kind of thing, like, blooming drunks, let's sort him out kind of thing, and try and get him out of obvious viewership, as it were.
Yeah.
You've got 4 arms. You could have like one over each shoulder.
They're both under my arm.
And you manage to pull them out of there. And you get into the corridor, and the arsenate sort of like approaches you, and it's like, I've forgotten my names. Susan and
Richard. We'll never forget.
Spin off.
Which I expect you never to forget. This is why I tell you things and I forget them. Richard and Susan. Drunk again, I see.
Yeah. I mean, they did good. They were seriously impressive. But I was the designated carry them home person, and it's just the kind of guy I am. I don't suppose you know where they live, do you? I could just drop them off to their quarters and just help them out. They've been good to me. I need to return the favor.
I mean, we can summon some aides to take them back for you.
Oh no! I've been stuck at this soiree, is it? Oh, Jesus, I'm bored. I need to go for a walk, and I like Richard and Susan. I can see him. I see they're going to be a key part of my life, and I did promise I'd help.
One moment. Yes, they live in the complex 3D 29.
3D 29. Yeah, that rings a bell, actually. Yeah. No, thanks for that. I do really appreciate that.
And they also start giving you directions.
I was going to say, could they help carry them, but that was fun. Any chance? You got any little taxis around here, or?
It's not too far.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah. Well, I bet them get them back, before they make a mess of themselves again. Oh, Richard, you should have seen Richard last week there, Anyway, and I'll just kind of walk off backwards.
Still talking to them, walking back to these bodies.
Okay. And you haul them back to their accommodation.
Are they do they live in the same room? That's the best way I can think of putting that.
They live in a smaller apartment complex, 2 beds. You stick your head into each room and you can't tell whose is whose room.
Do they show any signs of sort of sobering up at all, or coming?
Oh no, they're blackout drunk.
Right. Can I try and get in contact with maybe Flimsy or someone else to try and do the technical things? If he's Flimsy, are you competent at the moment? Are you standing, Flimsy?
Flimsy, make me a perception check.
Which way is up?
It's 17 from Flimsy.
You notice your personal comms going off.
I was good.
A number of times that I've been drunk and it's like, where's my phone? What is my phone? And how many missed calls do I have?
Yeah, why are you calling from the table? I'm keeping... Hey, Rob.
Exactly. I need you to slip out, Flimsy. This is important.
Oh,
sober up, man. Come on.
Oh, give me a second. Yes, sure, Rob. Sure thing. I'll be there. Where are you?
I'm in room 3D 29.
Oh, I'm sure I'll find it. I'll see you soon. Can I maybe order 3 or 4 drinks for Rob, just to see if I can keep him distracted for a while I try and sneak away from him.
He's probably not got 3 or 4 left in him.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, you've done it. You've beaten the dwarf, Rob. Well done. I'm going to have to call it a night. It's been a pleasure, and I'm sure I'll see you at the next shindig, eh?
Yeah, they're weekly around here. Only thing of interest.
Well, I'll see you.
I miss
hey.
home.
Hey, put your fist up. Here we go. Ready? Ramming speed. And he'll buff his fist. I'll see you later, Rob.
He sort of does it, but it's kind of off target.
And 10 minutes after you've left the room.
Tricks, either you notice Jahira's already left and Flims is going.
Did we follow?
I mean, yeah, I think we found out everything we can from the room.
Right. Okay. Let's follow behind where Flimsy's going. I haven't seen him stagger that much since I don't know since when.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't think that's a straight line.
Should have stuck with the sodas like us.
Yeah, the water.
All right, so we follow.
All right, and you all are in this couple's apartment. On a phrase that I was expecting to do the same 2.5 hours ago.
What have you done, Jahir? No one sent banana.
Oh, no, we haven't bananaed. I just thought, if I put them in a compromising position, if they did wake up, we've got photos and we could just blackmail them. So we can put them back how they were.
I make sure that my face is in view of the camera, and I go, poor things have passed out. Let's put them in the bedrooms and get them a glass of water. They'll have a hangover in the morning, but they'll be fine.
Flimsy, maybe you should check their communications. Maybe contact their mum and see if you can find her contact details.
What's the reality of doing something like cloning their keycard? It sounds fairly complicated to do in a subtle way.
Do you have a computer and hacking kit?
I always have a computer and hacking kit.
Then make me a computers check.
There we go.
Oh shit!
Oh, it's a 29.
Nailed it. Even while
This is a flawless copy.
Oh, it's beautiful.
The thing is, you also as you're copying the key cards, there also seems to be some encoded data in there.
Ooh.
That is giving you. You've not been able to make sense of it all, but it has narrowed down, and you have eliminated 2 and 3.
Sweet. That's between 4 and 5. That's all that's left. Excellent stuff. So, I imagine the comms are kind of keyed to area-based access or whatever, and it's the ones that are near 4 and 5 that have got the
it's you've figured out part of the encoded text is a floor number, and you've identified which floor their door was on.
Cool.
But the room number is just a garbled mess.
And we went. Have we been past 4 or 5 on our tours? I think we only limited 1 on the tour, didn't we?
You only eliminated 1 on your tour. You did go past 4 and 5, but there wasn't anything for you to gather from there.
Cool. No worries. We've got potential key cards. We've run down the numbers. I've got a splitting headache in the morning. Should we maybe get out of here before something goes wrong?
Yes. Let's get back and talk about our shared discoveries.
Yes.
Should we maybe show one more show up at the party just to say that we dropped these guys off and then we went back, had a few more drinks, and then went back to our rooms? Or
if there's a few more drinks available, then let's do it.
Yeah, I'm only allowed vodka soda while I'm in there. Nobody touch me.
Do you think we need to leave Richard and Susan with a glitter grenade, or is that too much? Or,
No, they're not real glitter grenades. They're actual grenades, Jay.
Okay.
Jahir, when you were putting them in a compromising situation, I thought, wow, he really did used to work for the Golden League.
Well,
That's where it
have
comes
our
out.
ways and means, Did you see this one? I'll show him a pic of him.
Oh,
Oh.
well done.
Oh, no, wait, that's upside down. Hang on.
Oh,
That makes more sense.
yes, almost artistic, one could say.
I've seen a lot in the wilds on Kassath. It's kind of a personal hobby of mine.
Yes.
Didn't know
Everyone should have a
humans had
hobby.
hinges in those places.
Everyone should have a hobby and pursue it to its fullest. That's what I say.
And I think we should escape. I don't think. Do you think it's worth going to scout the areas, or do you think we should leave that to another tour?
There was one more tour we could take with a more specialized edge core tour, which could be helpful. There's also
Sorry, come on.
there's also our other idea of hacking public computer. Okay, Flimsy and I are on the same wavelength per usual.
Flimsy, do you need me to carry you anywhere? Are you okay? Yeah.
Well, I was walking fine here. I'm sure I'll be walking fine.
Your top half was, but your legs are going not into the desert.
What? Oh, maybe a handhold would be nice.
I mean, Flimsy is a dwarf after all. Very low to the ground, which helps with the booze.
I mean, yeah, they have the same speed no matter how much they're carrying or what they're wearing.
Or how much they drank.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can carry me then.
What you get? Come on, let's go.
Flimsy forgetting that he has new gloves.
Yes.
All right,
Well.
so what are you doing?
Have another drink. Make sure we're seen once more at the soiree.
I think I'm going to head back to. I think it looked obvious if we all left the room and head back, so I might hang back sort of 5 minutes and then sort of saunter out back to the room a bit later. So.
Okay. Yeah, and then eventually head back.
Yep. Okay.
Reassure Rob that his friends have been put to bed.
He's not too concerned about them.
So
It happens just about every other week.
once we get back, we'll share that we were able to hear that a line mentioned that at the location, it'll just be security staff. All of the other employees are going to be given the next few days off. So we can assume 2 to 3 days. 2 to 3 days, maybe 4 at the most.
We seem to be close to being ready.
You said she hit target, then it's and they've given the people the day off. People with money don't give people the day off for no reason, do they? They normally force them onto the next job, and so maybe they're trying to keep it quiet. And maybe we could take these few days and perfect time to scout out the place. Maybe we could get into the security system, or maybe we could get some of the security staff drunk. It's.
I would say that if we wanted to be absolutely sure, the night after tomorrow night is the night to strike.
Provided we can get all the information tomorrow.
Right. Then maybe security will be a little off guard, a little relaxed. The first day, of course, they'll all be super keen protecting things, but we'll see, right? But I do think 2 nights from now, we should get in and get out.
It'll give us time to check their shift patterns and changeovers, and I think day after tomorrow is let's pencil that in for the day.
What are we doing about security? I'm hoping that we can disable whatever we can do, but what if we run into people?
Set phasers to stun.
Flimsy looks at his teleporting bullet gun. It's like I might have to look into that. I don't really want to leave anybody wounded after this.
Well,
Or
Flimsy,
gone.
you're going to need some hearty food to breakfast. I think we should go to a very public cafe with one that's got lots of computers in, and
There you go.
Stay over you are.
Sounds like a good plan.
I understand your concern, Flimsy, but I mean, we're working for Golden League now. And the money involved with this. If someone was to give their life defending this excellent ship, well, that's the price to pay.
You have enough for blood.
No, not out for blood, but woe be to those who get in my way of this payday.
Mm-hmm. Accidents happen.
Mhm.
Trix gives an obvious wink.
I just want to be rich.
I mean, Flimsy
A
only
little
said
bit.
that he didn't want to leave anybody wounded. That doesn't mean that he can't execute a shot to the back of the head when if they go down. It's just
Right.
like, night.
Doesn't want no life-changing injuries apart from death.
I think, if these guys are just doing the job, they're not after us. It'd be nice if we could avoid doing them in unnecessarily.
We want to see if we can trip the alarm. Well, not trip the alarm, but disable the alarm before we go into the room. Once we know what room it is, we want to. Eyes on the inside would be great. If we could hack the camera, that would be.
Mm-hmm.
But that might be asking too much.
We could always say that Richard's come back to make sure they switch the coffee machine off on the ship or something.
And if they have worked on this null space cargo hold, then I now know what their uniform looks like, and I can go get myself some.
Nice.
Yeah. Or I could charm a guard and have them give us a tour of the facility.
That requires one of the guards coming out, though, because it's all private security and they're all inside. But we can work, but that's definitely a plan.
Well, once we have the key card now.
Did we steal it? I thought we put it back.
We have a
No, we
copy.
cloned it.
Oh, we cloned it. Excellent.
Yeah.
So we've got the way in. It's just once we're in, that's the problem. Well, else we need to find a place, but that'll be easy.
Hopefully we'll find it in the morning if we do a bit of looking around in the cafe.
I mean, literally, we could just go to both locations, and whichever one opens with the key card is the right one.
And whichever one doesn't triggers the alarm. So
Would it trigger?
I don't know. Maybe.
There's also cameras and there's other security on there. Video cameras and an internally alarmed keycard pad.
I did not say it was best idea.
I mean, if you could put me in a wig, I could go.
I have a disguise kit.
Nice.
I've got plenty wigs for you. I like to call them hats.
Yeah.
Do you think you could get the ship into the drift like you did with the BD, or are we going to have to disable defense turrets, or are they going to want to shoot this ship if we're stealing it?
It does entirely depend on the sort of locking mechanisms they've got on the ship. I might get in and it might be biometric locked before we can start it, but you're looking at the best pilot in the damn business. I can drift us if it has a drift capability, which it should do.
Well,
One of the problems with the drift, though, is it does tend to pull a little bit of matter with it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're inside a space station with thousands of people.
I'd really rather not annihilate the Horseye in order for us to facilitate our escape.
Obviously, dry dock or not for a spaceship, it's still going to have an exit port in the wherever it is to, beep it out. So.
Yeah,
I mean, we got to get this. Okay, Trix, you fly. I'll get you whatever eyes, limbs, fingers you need, to get past the security.
That's the spirit.
Right, I've got to get my swords. It's killing me now. I haven't been away from them for this long.
I think it's time
Over
for
in
bed.
the corner. Yeah.
I need to rest this head.
With that, you go down to sleep, and that is where we're going to call the stream this week. A successful day scheming and planning a heist.
I did retune Susan and Richard's radio stations all to the same one. Just like a passive aggressive move. And drink half their milk.
Klingon acid music.
Yeah.
I thank you all for joining us this evening. I have been Karen Russmore and will continue to be Karen Russmore. You can usually find me over on my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/Karen Russmore. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm streaming XCOM 2. On Fridays, it's a crossover between Hitman 3 and Resident Evil 4. Depending on which week it is, but feel free to check me out there for more informations. Flimsy.
I'm JStation64. I've been playing Flimsy. You can find more of my streams on normally on Thursday. It's actually getting pushed back to the following Sunday as I'm away playing Starfinder. Playing No Man's Sky, which is Starfinder without the scheming. It's just mining. And then on Friday in Chirone's stream, where I'll be guest, being the helpful voice of support and friendliness in Resident Evil. And then on... I do another one, don't I?
Saturday mornings.
Saturday morning. There we go.
9:30 a.m.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
It has been a long day. Playing Red Dead Redemption 2, where I'm trying to be the bad man, Arthur Morgan, with help from chat.
And he's a terrible bad man. As in, he's terrible at being bad. Not that he's a terrible bad man. Yeva.
Hi, I am Crifford Bernal. I'm one of the captains, producers here at Manapot. I also stream at my channel where I am doing Assassin's Creed on Wednesday, and on Friday, most importantly, is the premiere of Season 2 of my solo playthrough of the Skull and Shackles Adventure Path, The Spear and the Sea. So be sure to check that out.
And
Awaited
Trix.
return.
Hi, I'm Crit Commissions. I do artsy things across various social medias under the same tag. Boom.
And Yeva.
Eva.
Here.
Oh, Jahir. Sorry. It's been a long day.
I'm Jahir. No, that's wrong. I'm Retro Ted. You can catch me streaming on Thursdays and Sundays. When we're not breaking OBS and causing computer crashes, we are playing Planescape Torment.
All right. And thank you all for joining us again. We'll be back at the same time, same place next week. And until then, I hope you all join us in the raid. But that's it for this week. Bye.
Bye.